Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again. How y'all doing on this Monday? It's been a hell of a weekend, first of all, to talk about the playoffs and things like that. A lot of upsets. The Patriots are out. Whoever thought did you see that? And it's funny because it was they were talking about like when the Patriots don't get a first round bye, they don't make it to the Super Bowl, and they just kind of just massage that idea because they got beat and they're done. And I know Patriots fans are like, they're not used to losing, so they're really like taking this really hard right now. And I'm just laughing because I'm like, y'all so used to winning, y'all don't know how to lose. It's crazy. It's really crazy right now. But there's that. The Eagles, they lost it last night. They you know, when Carson Wentz went down, I was like, oh, they got McCown in here. They're going to lose. Now, shout out to McCown. No, he's a journeyman, been around the league, 40-year-old guy. You know, it was a real emotional situation for him because, you know, just his journey and moving around to different teams and this and that. And I think he might retire. I think he's done. But, you know, the injury-prone thing with Carson Wentz, I know it was just a concussion. I know that could have happened to anybody, but, you know, shout out to Carson Wentz. I hope he's, you know, okay, because, you know, dealing with concussions and things like that, that's a huge thing. The Texans, they came back and beat the Buffalo Bills when the Buffalo Bills were up in that game too. You would have thought that they would have pulled that out, but they lost that. So, and of course, Eastside Heralds all in the chat, all in my comments talking about Houston MF and Texans. I told them enjoy because again, you can always be on the couch with us next week. But what I really want to talk about is the Dallas Cowboys have a brand new coach. And yesterday, when I was at Mark Holmes' house, we're watching the game, and all of a sudden at halftime, you see the news show up that Jason Garrett has been ousted as the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And I was like, that's an interesting time to bring that out during a halftime of the Eagles game, playoff game, Wildcard round. Jerry always wants to like be the center of attention. And even though the Cowboys are not in the playoffs, he's hey, look, y'all gonna know about us. Y'all gonna hear about the Dallas Cowboys. You guys are gonna talk about us this week. And with that, you hear the news, and I was just sitting there thinking for a second, like, that's real odd because news like this doesn't come out on a Sunday. You don't hear about things like this on a Sunday. Transactions don't happen on a Sunday. And again, it wasn't a transaction because we already know Jason Garrett's contract is up this week. So technically he can still be there until this week. It's not like they fired him. It was letting the world know that he is no longer going to be the coach in 2020. But technically, he's still hired by the team until this week. The 14th or something like that. But anyway, for them to make an announcement like that on Sunday, I was just thinking in my head, like, the only thing that makes sense is they're going to hire Mike McCarthy. And I said it at Mark's house. I said, we're going to hear tomorrow, which is today, that Mike McCarthy is the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And lo and behold, like 9 o'clock this morning, I'm driving in my work truck, and I was like, I can't do it right now because I'm at work. But, you know, I was like, I'll do the video later. And I'm listening to all the outlets talk about it, like people didn't believe it at first. And I'm like, when I heard it from like multiple sources and it kept coming, I said, I already knew that it was the truth. And I said, that was obvious. Anybody with common sense would have known that, like, for you to make an announcement randomly like that on Sunday when you didn't really have to, you knew that something was coming down the pike, that they were going to hire somebody. Now, I know a lot of you wanted, what is it? The rule guy. I don't know these college coaches. Lincoln Riley, Urban Meyer, things of that nature. Look, sexy, those are splash hits. But again, these collegiate guys, you don't know what they're gonna do in the NFL. You don't know what they can do in the NFL. Jerry Jones is 77 years old. To get somebody like Mike McCarthy, and I saw one news article that said that this wasn't an upgrade; it was more like a lateral. And I'm like, okay, if that's what you guys think. Mike McCarthy is definitely an upgrade from Jason Garrett, and I'm gonna explain why I think so. But I'm actually happy about the signing. Now I know some of you guys, like I said, you wanted some of these college guys, but what the Cowboys are probably thinking is this: the window is closing on Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is 77 years old. He's getting up there. He ain't got time to get a college guy to come in here and figure these guys out and take a couple of years to figure it out. He wants a guy that's going to come in here that takes what we have now, build onto it, get some more players in the draft, and get some guys on the staff that he likes too as well. And I'll talk about that in a minute. And to get him to where he wants to go so we can go to the playoffs and hopefully go to the Super Bowl. He wants that immediate move and that immediate push. And I don't normally agree with Jerry Jones, but I agree with this one. This one makes a lot of sense when it comes to what you're trying to do right now, what you have on this team. I know we had a conversation, guys, a lot about how Dak Prescott fits and whatever coach comes in, are they going to like Dak Prescott? Well, Mike McCarthy, when he did his interview, he was literally talking about they did one interview, then they did two interviews, and then they did the third one. We saw that he was staying in Dallas. We were like, oh yeah, it's inevitable. He's going to be the coach. It's going to happen. Because I know that Marvin Lewis had two, but I don't think that they were really looking at Marvin Lewis. Maybe for a defensive coordinator, but not for a coach. They were definitely looking at Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy had a whole year to sit at home. He actually had a bunker at his house where he had guys come over that are in the NFL or, guys that he knows very well that have coached before. And, he's got the board and he's in there and they're just watching games. And he said in this interview that he, not only did he watch Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes and these other guys around the league because he had time to do that because he's not coaching or wasn't coaching. The fact of the matter that he said specifically that I watched Dak Prescott. And he said himself, when Dak Prescott was a rookie, when he came and played us that playoff game, when he almost beat us and everything that we were throwing at him and things of that nature, he showed so much poise. He showed that the stage was not too big for him. And Mike McCarthy literally loved that when he saw that in Dak. And he was like, when he did his interview, he was like, I would love to be the coach of Dallas Cowboys because I can take what Dak Prescott already has and put him to another level. That right there sold me on it. Because, hey, those of you have your own opinions, whatever. If you don't like Dak Prescott, that's fine. But understand that, coaching matters. And I said before, Dak Prescott is one good coach away from being a really damn good quarterback. Now, will he ever be elite? The world may never know. He's still young in his career. Who knows? I know Foots is a guy that doesn't really like Dak, but even Foots said himself, shout out to Foots. Even Foots said that, Mike McCarthy is going to do a lot of good things with Dak Prescott, and I can see it. Let's just use common sense, guys. I mean, it only makes sense. Now, I've heard people say that Mike McCarthy is conservative like Jason Garrett is. He may have some conservativeness to him, but he's not Jason Garrett. He's been a proven winner. He's won in this league, and he knows how to win games. Now, I think that a lot of things that went on with him and Aaron Rodgers, again, you have a coach, he was on that staff for 13 years. Jason Garrett's been around here for 10. Sometimes you just need a change for change's sake. New environment. Because sometimes what they say, especially if you have these players that's been there that long, the message just gets stale. So you need a guy with fresh ideas to come in here and make changes and do different things. That's what you need. Now, Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers is a diva. We know that he's a diva. And their relationship just got spoiled after a while. Now, there was a lot of news reports that was coming out about, speculation on what was going on here and there. We really don't know. I'm not a Packers fan, so I don't know what was going on internally. But I also have questions about, what he's going to do here. We don't know what the coaching staff is going to be like. You look at the guys that we have on this coaching staff that their contracts are up, whether they're going to stay or not, we don't know. The ones that I'm really concerned with right now are the ones on offense because he is the coach. And I just want to see how he's going to run that offense. Now, he also said that you guys got Ezekiel Elliott, you got Tony Pollard. I'm going to do some things with these guys. I know that you've seen how I did with Green Bay, how, we didn't really have, they had Eddie Lacy when he was there. They didn't have the running backs that Dallas Cowboys had. So, of course, it was more of a pass-heavy offense. And he might still be pass-heavy because he's going to look at Dak and he's going to be like, these are the weapons that you have in the field. They re-signed Amari Cooper, and I think they may re-sign Randall Cobb because, again, that reunion with his old coach, it only makes sense. And I love what Randall Cobb did. He had 878 yards, 3 touchdowns. It would have been 7 if those touchdowns that he had wasn't called back from penalties. Randall Cobb had a pretty good year. I know he had the oopsies and the dropsies, but everybody did. Gallup and Amari Cooper was dropping balls. Jason Witten dropped balls. So it was just a fluky year when it came to that. But I think that if you get Randall Cobb back on this team, you got Amari Cooper, Mike McCarthy is going to be able to do a lot of things with these guys. Now, the question also was, what is he going to do with Kellen Moore? What is he going to do with John Kitna? Now, I can speak on the Kellen Moore topic because they asked him about that. You look at Kellen Moore and what he does. He's seen what Dak Prescott does. This past season. He's seen his numbers rise. He's seen some of the things that Kellen Moore was doing. He actually said in his interview, he called out a certain play that Kellen Moore called out, that Kellen Moore did when he was at Boise State, that he brought to the Cowboys offense. And he was like, I really like that one. He said, I kind of want to implement and do some things and play around with that. So that just shows to me that maybe he might bring Kellen Moore back as the OC. Now, one thing we know about Mike McCarthy, he likes to call his own plays. So I don't know if he's going to relinquish those duties and give it to Kellen Moore and allow him to call the plays, or if they're going to do it together, meaning like, you're the OC, I'll let you run this offense, but under the guidance of me, which might be actually good for Kellen because Kellen's still young, still new, still trying to get his way around, calling plays. He did pretty well this year. I mean, he made some mistakes and things of that nature, which you expect from a young guy that's just calling plays for the first time in an NFL setting, because again, you have to be there to make those mistakes, because think about it. You're going to go against these top-ranking defensive coordinators and stuff that you're going against, and you're trying to out-scheme them. They've seen things that you haven't seen yet. So because Kellen Moore has that year experience now, he's seen a little bit. He has a better understanding of how to call the plays and run the offense. I think that with him and Mike McCarthy working together, that might be a good thing. Now, on the defensive side, Ron Marinelli's contract is up. Chris Richard's up. So what are we going to do here? We don't know if they're going to keep Chris Richard, but we damn sure know that Ron Marinelli is going to be gone, because there was a report that came out that they're looking at Mike Nolan. Mike Nolan has a lot of history with McCarthy. They worked together. He was on his staff before. Mike Nolan, if you guys don't know who he is, he's the current Saints linebackers coach right now. The Saints are done. They lost. I mentioned this. They lost. So since they lost in the playoffs, wow. And I'm doing this video and I'm just seeing Mark Holmes. What a segue. And I don't know if it's true because I can't see the news articles because I'm on my phone. But I'm looking at Mark's notification right now. It just popped up on my phone while I'm doing this video. And I just talked about Mike Nolan. They were looking at him, and it looks like they hired him from what Mark is saying. Okay. All right. Well, if Mike Nolan is hired, if that is true, then he's the new defensive coordinator. That means Ron Marinelli is out. Now, I don't know if he's going to still keep Chris Richard as the game coordinator, whatever the hell his position was with the secondary guys. But this guy, Mike Nolan, has a really good He's going to be good for the Dallas Cowboys. They can still keep the same 4-3 scheme and do some things with these guys. We got the talent, guys. Now they're just putting the pen on the paper, baby. And putting the pen on the paper is putting the guys in position that makes sense. So now that we got that covered, let's talk about real quick about Mike McCarthy's numbers. So I said in the earlier videos, you could go back and look at the video where I was talking about Jason Garrett's numbers and in his career as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we know that Mike McCarthy was with the Packers for 13 seasons. Now, his record as a head coach, he's 125 wins, 77 losses, and 2 ties. He has 6 division titles to Jason Garrett's 4. A 10-8 playoff record to Jason Garrett's 2-4 record. No, 2-3 record. He has 4 NFC title games. 4. Jason Garrett ain't got none. 0. And 1 Super Bowl victory. And I heard some people say some stupid stuff like, Mike McCarthy only won 1 Super Bowl. Do you know how hard it is to win a goddamn Super Bowl? Just because the Patriots do it all the time, and I still don't understand that either, but they're the only team that does that win consistently. It's hard to get to the Super Bowl. Look at this. Look at the Patriots now. They're done. They're not even in the playoffs this year. Well, they're in they were, but then they lost. You know what I mean? They got their ass whooped. So they're done. So they got ousted in the first round. And I knew that was going to happen because of deficiencies on offense. They need to get some people to help out Tom Brady. You can't do it. A quarterback. Oh, really? As great of a quarterback as Tom Brady is, you can't do it by yourself. You still need weapons. And I think that Dak Prescott is going to flourish. If I was Dak Prescott right now, I'd be like, and that only goes to show that he's going to get signed really soon. It only makes sense. You got to sign your quarterback because, and I talked to some dude today, and it kind of pissed me off. He was talking about, he claimed he was a Dallas Cowboy fan, but he didn't know a damn thing about football nor Dallas Cowboys. And he talking about, I don't look at the internet. We are in 2020, sir. You don't. Okay, whatever. I didn't even get into it. When I was like, have a nice day. I ain't got time for that. I said, I'm not going to let nobody stress me in 2020. I ain't going back and forth with you mofos. I ain't going to do it. My whole thing is this. I made my statement, and I had valid reasoning for it. And I guess he got frustrated because he couldn't handle it. I guess he was like, oh, this dude know too much. I frustrated him, and he just exited the conversation. I was like, well, damn, just give me valid reason for your, if you're going to make a statement, give me a reason. Look, y'all already know, I value all of y'all opinions, but if you're going to make a statement, give me a reason. Give me a valid reason that makes sense. That's all I'm saying. Then I'm like, okay, I see where you're coming from. That's it. It don't even have to be an argument. It's a debate. It is what it is. But looks like Mike Nolan is going to be the defensive coordinator. Got Mike McCarthy as our coach. Now, again, just like with the Redskins and Ron Rivera, you don't know. It's always up in the air. You don't know what it's going to be like. We don't know if Mike McCarthy is going to come in. I mean, we can fall flat on our face and it don't work out. He has a 5-year contract, so we see what happens. Mike McCarthy could come in here, and I think it's probably going to be the latter. He's going to come in here. He's going to help Dak Prescott be great. I really hope that he keeps Kitna, Mark Colombo, and Kellen Moore on his staff. But I think that those guys might stay because considering what was coming out of that interview with him, he likes some of the guys they have on offense. You see, he just went and got his defensive coordinator, so that's cool. He might bring a couple of pieces here and there, but I think that with the coaching staff, more than likely they're going to keep what they have. I don't know what's going to happen with Gary Brown. They might keep Gary Brown. He probably looks at Gary and was like, okay, well, I see what you did with Zeke and Pollard and Olawale. You have a good relationship with these guys. Let's go ahead and get him re-signed and keep him on and see what we could keep doing with these running backs. But I think that Tony Pollard's going to fare well in this offense. Is going to be good for Dak Prescott, especially Dak Prescott. You keep him with the weapons that you need, and I think that he's going to be even better than he was this season. Guys, let me know what you guys think about the Mike McCarthy signing and I guess Nolan being the defensive coordinator. Thanks again to all my subscribers. I appreciate you guys. You guys have been awesome throughout my maturation and growth of my channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Tap that notification bell on up. And get this content from your boy. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Talk to y'all soon.